I purposefully did not explain you the difference when I was teaching about both those operators. So I want you to go ahead and search the internet or check out from books on Python on how they differ. So when you explore it yourselves, you will learn a lot of new stuff than just sticking to textbook teaching. And one more thing I would like to mention is, when you use these boolean values in your programs, that is whenever you use true or false, always make sure that the first letter is an uppercase. So it has to be a capitalized word. Okay, so I have already told you one good indicator is the change of color. So whenever the color of the text changes, it means that it has some special meaning in Python. So this true and this false, they represent your boolean values. However, if you just change the case, Python, as I have been repeating time and again, that Python is case sensitive. So if you use a different case, the meaning changes altogether. They just become some random strings. So always make sure when you use true and false, the first letter has to be a capital letter.
Time's up. Now evaluate yourself and keep listening.
Now let us check the solutions for these. The first question, so these are the sample values for our variables. So we have A, B, C, D as true, false, true, and again false. So this is the input values. Now let us take the first case, which is A and C or B and D. So if we go back to your operator precedence, as I said, first anything within brackets is evaluated. Since we don't have any brackets in this case, so it is fine. So we can just need to check out here, and again we are only using AND OR operators, so we are only going through logical operators. So in that, first AND is executed followed by OR, and then NOT is executed at the last. If we go back here, first AND is executed, right? So A and C, which is true and true, so the answer is true. And then we have another AND over here, so B and D, that is false and false, so it is false. Now we have true or false. If you look at the truth table, true or false, that is A or B, where true or false is true, right? As you know, in OR, even if one value is true, then the output is going to be true. So the entire result of this expression is true. Let's go to the second case. A and B, or C and not D. So again, we don't have any brackets, we only have AND, OR and NOT. So first AND OR executed, as in like first A and B. So A is true and B is false. True and false is false. Then we have another AND over here. So C and, here we don't have an operator, right? So what happens is, this NOT D first gets executed. So NOT D is false, so NOT D is true. Now we have an operand over here, so C and true will be executed. C and true is, C is true, right? So true and true is going to be true, and then false or true is true. So your final result is true. And the third case, so here we have brackets. So first brackets are executed. So B and C, that is false and true. So this is false, right? So this bracket has finished executing. So now we have another bracket. And when we have multiple brackets, the innermost gets executed first, and after that it goes from inside out. So first the innermost expression was this, which we have reduced to false, and now we have A or false. A is true, so true or false is going to be true, and then we have true or not D. So again, here we don't have an operand, so first this not D is simplified, not D is true, so true or true is going to be true. So your final answer is true, right? So this is the solution for the first question. Now moving on to the second. Please give the input values. A is 10, B is 2.0 and C is -3, right? First case, A plus B mod C. So we have brackets, so A plus B, 10 plus 2.0. As I said, Python automatically converts your data types if they are compatible. So integer plus float will give you a float. So 10 plus 2.0 is 12.0. Now mod C is -3. So how do you actually evaluate this? So don't get confused by these decimal points or your negative numbers. This is exactly as you normally do your modulo. See, 12 mod 3 is what happens when you divide 12 by 3. You don't have a remainder. The remainder is actually 0. so your answer will be 0. But when you have a negative sign, Python just shows you that negative sign too, so it shows you as 0 minus 0. And since it is float divided by int, I mean float mod int, as I said, float and int will give you a float, so it shows it as minus 0.0. So what if it had been some other number, say 5? In that case 12 mod 5, so when you divide 12 by 5, the remainder is 2, right? So the answer will be minus, sorry. Okay, it appears there is a difference in the definition when it comes to negative numbers. Say had it been a positive 5, then just like always, so 12 when you divide by 5, the remainder you obtain is 2, so you should get 2, right? So when it comes to negative numbers, so there is, if you go to Wikipedia on modulo operation, they have set of formulas or definitions regarding modulo operator when when the numbers are positive or negative. So if you are interested, you can go through it. Right now we are focusing on how operators are evaluated and how the order precedence takes place. So right now the mathematics is not of importance at this point, so just move on to the next one, which is b into 2 less than or equal to b or c minus a. So here we have a mixture of various types of operators. So let us just go back. So first identify what are the types of operators that are used in this expression. So we have we have multiplication, comparison, logical, and again subtraction, which is an arithmetic operator. So we have arithmetic, comparison, and logical operators. So if you see the order of precedence, first we have the arithmetic operators, and within that we have multiplication and then subtraction, which is followed by comparison operator, and logical operators are the lastly evaluated. So first evaluate your arithmetic expressions, arithmetic operators. So we don't have any brackets, so we can directly evaluate this. So value of b is 2.0, so 2.0 into 2 is 4.0, and we have less than or equal to, then we have b again. Now we have or and minus, and we know arithmetic takes precedence over your logical operator, so this will first remain the same, and this gets executed first. C minus a, that is minus 3 minus a, that is minus 3 minus 10 is minus 13, so this will be minus 13. Okay, so now we have two, one is comparison, other is the logical. So among comparison and logical, first comparison takes precedence since it is on the top than logical operators. So first evaluate this. Is 4 less than or equal to b? So b is 2.0, so 4.0 less than or equal to 2.0 is false. The result of a boolean the result of comparison operator is always either true or false. So this is 4.0 and b is 2.0. So 4.0 less than or equal to 2.0 is false. So now this is your expression. Now what happens here? As you can see, false or minus 13. So as I said, any non-zero number is a representation of true. So it is false or true, and this is OR operator. So even if any one value is true, you get the output as true. So among these two, the true value was minus 13. So we get minus 13 as the total output. So for this entire expression, minus 13 is your output. Now let's move on to the next. So again, so here we don't have any brackets, so you just need to directly see the precedences. You have exponent, that is double star is exponent. Then you have comparison, logical, you have another arithmetic, and then another logical, right? So first exponentiation is done. So b is 2.0, right? First is exponentiation, so b power 2 is 2.0 power 2, that is 4.0 less than or equal to, and b is 2.0 or c is minus 3, and then we have minus not a, so a is again 10, right? So we are held up with an issue. As you can see, we have comparison operator, logical operator, and arithmetic operator, and again once again a logical operator, right? So among these, your arithmetic operator minus takes the highest precedence. So if you look at this part, you have minus 3 minus not 10. So here we don't have an operand directly. So what happens is, this not 10 is evaluated first, so 10 will be equivalent to true, right? So not 10 will be false. Now you know that your arithmetic operator is going to execute first, but if you see here, you have minus 3 and minus false. So it is not possible to actually subtract false from right. In the previous cases, you are just comparing the values, you are comparing the equivalent values of whether it was true or false using the non-zero and zero representations. But here you are directly performing some calculation over the number, so which is not possible, hence this will give you an error. So if you look at this, I think this was the question, right? Yeah. So now if I run it, as you can see, it shows invalid syntax, and if you observe, you can see it even indicates where that syntax error is. So the syntax error happens over here, right? So which means you don't have an answer for this, it will just generate an error. Okay, so the next one, so this is your next expression. So we have 10 plus, again b is 2.0, right? Power in 7 mod 2, you have brackets over here, so this gets executed first. 7 mod 2 is 1, right? So when you divide 7 by 2, you get the remainder as 1, and you have equal to, then you have 2a. So 2a basically is 2 into a, right? So that is 20, again minus 10, b is 2.0 plus 1. So this is the, when you substitute your variables with your numerical values, this is the expression you get. And among this, so you have arithmetic and comparison. So your arithmetic takes precedence over your comparison. You can see your arithmetic calculations take precedence over your comparison. So you need to evaluate the arithmetics first and leave the comparison for the last. So in arithmetics, you can see first is the exponentiation, then you have the integer division, after that you have your additions and subtractions, right? So first is your exponentiation, that is 2.0 to the power 1 is nothing but 2.2. Anything raised to the power 1 is the same number, right? Then we have your floor division, that is your integer division. So 10, when you divide by 2, you have 5, but since it was int by float, you get a float as the result. Now it is all just addition and subtraction, so you can directly do it. So this is nothing but 12.0 equal to 20 minus 5 is 15.0 plus 1, which is going to be 16, right? So 20 minus 5 is 15 plus 1 is 16, and again you have a float among your int, so your final result will be float. Now check 12.0 equal to 16.0. So what comparison operator does is checks whether the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. If they are equal, it returns true. If they are not equal, it returns false, right? So what is the answer for this? It is going to be false. So the value of this entire expression my mistake, this is supposed to be 2 into a, right? So your answer is false. And then the last one, so if you look at the last one, it is almost the same as this half, and you just have this extra part, right? So all you need to do is take the answer and do this. So if I run the output, so we know this was false, right? So we can replace this particular portion with false and then add just the extra portion, and your output is true. Now if you give this entire expression, will the output be true or will it be false? So we have deduced here that it was true, right? So the output should be true, but actually it is false because I just wanted you to make note of something. So at this step we had this, right? So this is comparison and this is also comparison. So if you look at the order of precedence even within the comparison operators, so we have the equality operators below your greater than less than symbols, right? So what actually happens is this takes precedence over this. So when we come to the problem, you don't actually do this part first. What actually happens is this gets executed first. So 16 is less than or equal to 10. Now this is false, right? Now if you run, now you see that 12 is not equal to false, so that is false, and so your entire expression becomes false. So I just explicitly gave this problem with the comparison to change the order of precedence with this equal to. I hope this is clear now. So all you need to do is first evaluate your brackets, then follow this exact table, and you will be fine with how to evaluate expressions. Now on to the last question. So the difference between is and equal to. Okay, this is really important because just this mistake might affect the complete program in case you are using this particular condition to change the flow of program. So know that okay, well, while I was explaining, I mentioned that double equal to checks for the equality of the variables, and is operator checks if two objects are the same. So if you have listened properly, again let me tell you, equal to checks for the value of the objects if they are same, and is checks for if the objects are the same. What I mean by that is, let's say I have something like a equal to 1000, fine, and then I have b equal to 10 power 3. Okay, so we have two variables a and b. The value of a is 1000 and the value of b is 10 power 3, which is nothing but 1000. So if I check for a equal to b, what it does is it checks if the value of a and b are equal. So they are equal because both of them equate to 1000. But if you use is operator, what it checks for is whether a is the same as b, that is if a itself is b, not the value of a but the object itself. So when I gave a is b, it shows false. Okay, so this is the difference between comparison equal to and is operator. Okay, so equal to checks if the values of the objects are same, is checks if the object itself are the same.
I hope you have liked the class. I'll be waiting for your queries at the BrainBloom app. See you tomorrow.